Hello everyone. Hello. 10:15 ആയില്ലേ? കുഴപ്പമില്ല. Usual time I guess. അപ്പോൾ വീണ്ടും ഒരു കൊച്ചി ഫോസ് മീറ്റപ്പിലേക്ക് എല്ലാവർക്കും സ്വാഗതം. This time we have a couple of folks that do not understanding Malayalam. Who doesn't understand Malayalam here? Okay, we have more folks than. Okay, so there is this hack thing happening at Fort Kochi, which is called Hack for Play, which is like a hacker meetup where there are some people coming from Germany and all. There's this club called Chaos Computer Club. So there are a couple of hackers there in Fort Kochi. So we've all been there. So one of the speakers is from Hack for Play as well. So hence why we'll be keeping it a bit more English than usual. Usually we do this entirely in Malayalam. So we'll be keeping it a bit more English. And I guess that's the suggestion for the speakers here as well. But you can twist in some Malayalam words here and there, it's fine. I think he also understands some Malayalam too, so perfect. Okay. Okay, so who's here for the first time? Okay, so a brief introduction about Kochi FOSS. So we are a bunch of free software, Swadhantra software liking people who were around Kochi and Thrissur and rest of the places, who decided that there is nothing much free software thing happening among Gen Z anymore. So we thought we should do like a meetup, because all of us when we were in college, we were very active into Swadhantra software and all. And Kerala, as you know, has a very good relation with Swadhantra software because we've been using it in school and all. So I thought it would be a good idea to have a meetup here, and then like there's nothing much happening around in Kochi anyway. What do we do on a weekend, like other than cake, pastries and stuff? So we love computers, we love meetups. Let's do one thing. And this started in 2023 May. We had one meetup in Info Park at the office, and since then it's been going smooth. It's been now about to become 3 years. That's very surprising to us as well. And we now conduct meetups when we have enough talks and all. So this is our first talk of this year. So we have 3 speakers here today, and Entri has been hosting us for the 3rd time now, I think. And thank you, Entri, again for giving us the space to host our meetup. I think Rishi is not here. Rishi is usually our contact person here. He's not here. Okay, fine. And what else? Yeah, so we're gonna. So that's it. This is a freewheeling community. We are mostly volunteers. Mark, I would introduce. Mark is also our backend. He usually doesn't come to the front, but Mark really helps us out with the meetups. And we have Anub here. Anub is our official video stream partner, I would say. Okay. And there's Shamil as well. He's unfortunately not here. So we mostly 3-4 of us usually do the most volunteering part. If you have not been in our meetups, you can join us as public groups. We are on Metrics, XMPP and Telegram, where the 3 groups are bridged together. And we are also on our social media, so when you get notifications and all, you can just join that. There's nothing much else. We just do it out of our spare time, and there's nothing. It's very informal, so keep it that way. I think we'll have time until 1, so a bit late only. So our first speaker today is Joanne. Joanne is a 3rd-year student from Muthoot, the MIT of Kerala, the usual college. I think we had a couple of speakers more from MIT before, Advaith and more speakers. I think while they were students as well. Yeah. So she's going to talk about Llama CPP and the internals of AI. I think she's going to more spoke about the non-proprietary ways of hosting cloud on a computer. So I welcome Joanne for giving this talk. Thank you.
Shall I connect this right now?
Yes, the stream is correct now.
Perfect. Okay. Hey everyone. Hi. Hello. So everyone is from Entri itself, or people outside also?
There is nobody from Entri here, I think.
Nobody from Entri. But I met a few folks from Entri itself. And it's great seeing all of you. It's amazing, and it's my first time at FOSS over here, and it has been a dream to be here at FOSS. And I'll introduce a bit about myself. I am Joanne Alice Thomas, and I have been working in the sector of AI for the past 1.5 years, starting from my first year of college into AI, and I am more of an AI developer. So today I'll be talking something that is deep under, not what you see as a peak of the iceberg. Okay, what do you think the peak of the iceberg, what I'm talking about is? All these tools that you see nowadays. ChatGPT, that's what we use most of the time. Then comes Gemini, all of these. That is about the peak of the iceberg. But have you guys ever wondered what is running behind all of these things? Like going deep under. How many of you have worked properly with AI? Raise your hands.
Define properly.
Properly in the sense, not just prompting, something more into AI, like product-based stuff. So maybe working under AI. Deep into AI. You have worked. Okay, what have you worked on before?
Build track pipelines, I built React pipelines.
You guys have built also? Okay. What have you built? Okay. Which API did you use? Did you use any model? Llama. Okay. So that's what. AI nowadays, what you see is, even in the case of chatbots, most of the platforms nowadays, what are we guys using? We are integrating a lot of chatbots. But these chatbots are basically just what? Calling APIs. Should I start with what exactly is AI rather than stepping into all of that? I guess I should. Let me ask you a question. What is AI? Respond. Come on, people. What is AI? Before I step into this thing, before I go deep into AI, I want to know what exactly, right? What are we trying to build? We are trying to build something that is going to mimic what is inside of us. That is our brain itself. So that the machines or the robots or whatever can do certain decisions and tasks like us human beings. That is what you guys are seeing right now. In the case of ChatGPT or Gemini, whenever you guys are giving a certain prompt, what is it doing? It is able to give you an answer. But answer based on what? That is a question. It is already, like he said, pre-trained on tons of data. Another question. Do you think I can build an LLM from scratch right now? LLM from scratch. Large language model from scratch. Yes or no? Could be anything.
Are you asking whether you can build it or
Anybody could. I mean, let us take you right now. Do you think you can build a large language model from scratch right now?
Yes. I guess so, yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I couldn't say it.
No, but that's actually very hard, because why do you think OpenAI always releases a lot of models with a span of months' time? Why do you think so? Because data is not free. You need tons of computational power. Example, in the case of OpenAI, what are they using? They are using Jetson GPUs from NVIDIA, and these are like very expensive. So if you're trying to build an LLM from scratch right now, that is practically right now thinking of an individual, it is kind of impossible, because we need money. Money in the sense, not just lakhs or anything, we would need billions and millions of dollars or whatever it is. So it is not possible for us to build everything from scratch, and that's why we are relying on LLMs right now. That is already hosted. Example, if you're trying to build a chatbot right now, what do? You take out API keys, right? API keys from where? A lot of models, like what? Gemini. Grok is there. Grok is amazing when it comes to token generation per second. Around 450 tokens per second. That is the whole thing when it comes to Grok. And that's why we always rely on Grok for taking out the API keys. And especially, it is completely free. Not like OpenAI, which always charges us with money when it comes to taking API keys. So imagine, the main thing, like he said, pre-training, training a model. What do you guys think we need? Suppose if I'm taking a model, have you heard of Ollama?
Yes.
Ollama, right? Okay. Now, what is Ollama meant for? You can take a lot of local models out from there. You can do whatever with it, right? Now, imagine you are training a model on your own. I mean, a pre-existing model, you want to train it with the data that you already have. What would you do? What are the steps that you guys would do? You would look into a certain model that is already available, and then what do? You train it with the data that you have. Suppose Entri app. Okay, Entri, recently somebody called me regarding a fintech class or something. Yeah, so if suppose he is building a model which is completely based on this fintech stuff. So what are the things that he would add as per Entri app? What are the things? Details about what you guys do, what you guys do in the sector of fintech, all of these things you are training the model with. This is what the data is meant by. But if you want to do that, you can't just rely on something that only has CPU. You guys have to rely on something that is having high computational power, and that is what is meant by GPUs. How many of you play Valorant here? How many of you play Valorant? How many of you play games? COD, Medal of Honor, whatever. Can you guys play all of these games in something that is just having CPU? Sometimes, but after a few minutes it's going to burn like anything, even more hotter than what sun is. But GPU is what? It is powering more. It is giving more computational power. The same way, if you're trying to train a model, you need more power. And that's why if you don't have CPU, if you don't have a GPU inside a computer, what do you rely on? Certain platforms? Any? Cloud GPUs. Where is it available? Any platforms that you know of? Collab, then? AWS is there, but you have to pay like really well. Exactly. I am talking about the free places. Collab is there, Kaggle is there. Kaggle you get T4 GPU for free. It will take a lot of time, but it won't cost you anything because it's completely free. It is based on the cloud-based stuff. Okay, so what we are going to deal with right now is, imagine you are running something that is completely, one second. Imagine you are trying to run a large language model on your laptop itself. Something that only has a CPU. Imagine how cool is that? Imagine you guys are trying to run a large language model completely on a laptop which only has CPU. That is what we came across the whole factor called as Llama CPP. Because training a model, okay, how many of you guys think that AI could only be done with Python? Why do you think Python plays a great role in the case of AI? It concerns one sector mostly. Why do you think Python is very prominent when it comes to the sector of AI? What do we use Python more for? Data? Data processing is there, but mostly when it comes to the sector of training. Mostly when it comes to the training a model, we are usually highly relying on Python. But have you guys heard of inference? You guys know what inference is? Inference is what is happening nowadays. Example, whenever you guys are giving in a certain prompt into something called as GPT or Gemini or whatever, it is able to give you an answer, right? It is able to predict you guys an answer. And that is what is meant by inference. It is predicting something after looking at the live data that you guys given. That is what is meant by inference. In these sectors, when you go deep into the inference model, it is depending more on programming languages like C, C# and etc. That is why we came across this one thing called as Llama CPP. I'll deep dive more into that. What do you actually think AI is? Like a lot of you guys said, ChatGPT APIs, cloud GPUs, then Python notebooks. It's not just that. I was pretty sure you guys will answer all of this. That's why I had this on the either. AI is not just this. People are investing billions of dollars into AI. Why? Because AI is the future right now. Everything can be automated nowadays. A lot of companies nowadays are recruiting people who are able to do automation jobs. Right now, the internship that I'm doing is completely based on automation. They just want to kick out human beings. They just want to completely eradicate the whole manual part and bring in a lot of automations. But these automations are done by agents. Have you heard of agents? Yes, agents are meant to do what? They are meant to do tasks. And that's why we rely on agents for automation. I was asked to keep this whole presentation very technical. Do you guys want to keep it completely technical or? Yes? Okay. Perfect. What do you think AI nowadays does? You know, looking under the hood. If you're given a certain input, what is happening? Have you ever thought about that? You know why I stepped into AI? When I got introduced to ChatGPT model, when I got introduced to GPT model, what exactly happened is that everyone was so amazed, like saying, oh my God, it is giving us answers. But my main question was, how is it able to give you answers? What is actually happening under this whole interface? What is happening deep dive into it? Have you guys heard of tokens? Tokens, right? Okay, so what are exactly tokens? when you give in a certain input to a model, this model, example, transformers. Have you guys heard of BERT? BERT is like bidirectional transformer. So it is looking both sides. But in the case of transformers, what exactly is happening? It is looking from left to right. And what is happening? It is converting this whole sentence into tokens, word by word. These tokens are getting analyzed and computed. And according to that, it is able to predict what is the next word. And the next word is predicted, then it would take the whole sentence and then predict the next word. That is what is happening in the case of model nowadays. Okay, so what is happening? The input text, that is basically the tokens, are converted into something that is meaningful. Ever heard of vectors? Yes. These vectors are basically words which is having a numerical meaning. So maybe a lion might be 0.1. Maybe a hippopotamus would be 0.97. These are vectors. Do you think a lion and dinosaur would be having a same vector space? No, obviously not. What do you think? A king and a queen, what do you think? It is pretty close. What about a man and a woman? It is pretty close. What about a man and a dog? It is another. This is what is called by vectors. Vectors are used to represent all of these words, all of these tokens into a numerical form. So whenever you guys given a certain text, it is converting it into tokens. And these tokens are basically numbers. And according to these numbers, a lot of calculations is happening under the hood. A lot of matrix multiplication is happening. Linear algebra, matrix multiplication, all of these type things are happening with the weights that is inside. And then, have you heard of self-attention mechanism? Do you think how transformers, okay, what is the full form of GPT? Generative pre-trained transformer. So why do you think in 2017 at Transformers, when it got introduced by a paper called Attention is All You Need, why do you think it got very famous? The main part under Transformers is one principle called as self-attention mechanism. You know what it does? When a sentence is passed in, this sentence is broken down into tokens. And you know what self-attention mechanism does? This self-attention mechanism is looking at the relationship of each token with each other. And understanding the relationship between these meanings, it is able to predict the probability of the next word. This is by something called a softmax. That is, we are going deep into the mathematical part. I don't want to do that, but this meant by something called a softmax. ReLU architecture, all of these things are happening under the hood. And then what is happening? After the matrix calculation, matrix multiplication, it is predicting the next word. And this is repeating. This is what actually happens under when you guys give in a certain text input. A sentence. This is what actually happens. Not exactly, this is just a short form. There is so much more deep happening inside. And like I said, training a model, we would require Python a lot. But imagine something that is making all of these AI do their jobs right now. It is requiring C, C#, all of these amazing strong languages. Python is actually very versatile. We use it for a lot of things, but I won't say it is strong. C and C# is very, very pretty strong, and it is meant and done used for a lot of amazing things to make it strong. So when it comes to inference kind of things, what is happening? We are using C. And that's when, imagine a problem was coming up. If you want to run a model locally in your laptop, it would take a lot of computational power, right? That is what we are using GPUs for. But what if somebody is not having GPU with them? How would they run a model? And that's when Llama CPP was introduced. Llama CPP, C++. So it is basically a C++ inference engine that is basically used for when you don't have a GPU, when you don't have too much of RAM space or whatever. It is meant for locally running a lot of models inside a computer. And it does not require internet. You can completely run offline in your PC very easily. That is what we came up with the whole idea of Llama CPP. So understood what Llama CPP exactly is? Okay, so I'll be doing a small demo of what exactly I mean by this. Okay, so Llama CPP is a complete open source stuff. You guys can find it in GitHub. The whole repository can be cloned and run in your laptop. I would say run it in Ubuntu. That is more better. In a terminal, in the Ubuntu terminal, run the whole model, the repository, and the whole directions are given inside. Okay, so Llama CPP is something which is more of like a C Sharp inference engine that is meant for running a lot of language models locally inside your computer, which mostly it only has CPU. It could be running GPUs, but this is for the sake of people who only has CPUs. Okay, so if you have a lot of space in your laptop, you can definitely run a lot of amazing, okay, I'll come to that, a lot of great heavy modeled ones, but if you don't have enough space or anything, you can go ahead with small tiny Llama models also. Okay, now what does Llama CPP actually use? Have you guys heard of GGUF? Generative Pre-trained Transformer Generative Unified Format. So it is more of a format. Okay, if you suppose you open Linux and you do something like gedit input.txt, what kind of file is that? It is a text file. The same way, models could be represented in a file format, and that is what is meant by GGUF. And you can find a lot of amazing models out there in Hugging Face, which is under this whole GGUF format. And this GGUF format basically is supporting a lot of Llama CPP ones. Wait, GGUF models. Yes, QuenCoder is another GGUF format. There's a lot of amazing tiny, what do you guys think of tiny Llama is? What is tiny Llama? What is tiny ML? Tiny ML is something that could be run in microcontrollers, models that could be run in hardware. Especially if you guys take out ESP32. Do you think it is having a lot of memory? No. Compared to that of Raspberry Pi, obviously not. So all of these AI stuff that could be inferenced into certain small chips like this, that is what is meant by tiny ML. Tiny ML. But what do you think tiny Llama is? A small piece of what exactly is the Llama model. If you don't have enough space in your laptop or whatever, you guys can easily take out this and run inside your laptop. Before I come into okay, so Hugging Face, you get a lot of tiny models out there which are in the GGUF format. Okay, so deep dive, look into it. And then comes, yeah. So what this Llama CPP actually does is that it takes out the GGUF model. It is allocating memory towards it. You know, a model is deep dive into its architecture, its tokenizers, how it is normalizing stuff, what all things can be used in there. All of these things are happening inside, is written down inside a model. And whenever you are taking a GGUF model or whatever, this Llama CPP, what is it trying to do? It is trying to look what is exactly happening under the hood of the model, allocating memory towards it. You know what a computation graph is? You know what exactly happens when you input a text? What are things are happening? Tokenizing is happening. Then comes embedding. What do you guys think embedding is? Yes, all of these words which has been converted into vectors, these are stored into an embedding form. These embeddings are basically vector format of whatever text or token that you have inputted. And then what comes? Feed forward self-attention mechanism, then comes feed forward mechanism. This self-attention, a lot of neural networks are in there. So each neural network is having a certain set of weights. So every single time it is going through this hidden neural network, and at the end you are getting the output. That is basically what you see nowadays. So this is what is meant by computation graph. So what Llama CPP does is that whenever it is getting access to a model, it is trying to look into all of these. It is trying to build a computation graph of the model. It is going to optimize the model for your CPU use. It can't load heavy stuff or anything. It is meant for basic CPU use. And there's another thing that comes under Llama CPP that is meant by GGML. You know what GGML is? So right now I said a lot about matrix calculation that is happening when a text input is given, right? Where do you think this whole computation is happening? This whole tensor multiplication is happening when you are not looking at the Python side. GGML is something that is completely C-based. That is more of like computing the neural net, tensoring the whole neural network for your CPU use. You guys know neural networks, right? Neural networks is basically, okay, an example. When you were 3 years old, imagine you went near the fire. You got a stimuli. The stimuli went inside, got inside your head. Neural networks are working. You guys have studied this whole thing in 9th grade at least, right? Yeah, exactly. The same thing is happening in the case of AI. AI is having a lot of things under hood. It's meant by neural networks. I'll show you that. This is what exactly a neural network looks like. Whenever you're giving a certain input, this is going inside the hidden neural network, and these one single neural network is called, one single node is called as a perceptron. Yes, neuron whatever, but it's more of perceptron. And this is happening over here, then feed forward mechanism, then self-attention mechanism is happening, and towards the end you are getting the output. This is what exactly happens under the whole sector of what exactly is AI. Transformers is another form of neural networks which is using this sector called as self-attention mechanism. That is the main thing that made transformers very, very amazing back in 2017, and we are still using it nowadays. Okay. So what is GGML? I told you about matrix calculation, right? Inside the deep neural networks, a lot of calculation is happening. But imagine if you are using something more of like Llama CPP based. What do you use? You use GGML for this matrix calculation of the models, the neural networks inside the model. That is where GGML comes to play. Have you guys heard of PyTorch TensorFlow? What is TensorFlow mainly used for? It is more of a framework for deep learning. What is deep learning? Deep learning is containing a lot of neural networks. In order to build these neural networks, in order to compute these neural networks, what are we relying on? PyTorch and TensorFlow. But these are basically which language? Python. Imagine you want to do the same but with C, that is GGML. These computation that is happening in the case of TensorFlow, PyTorch or whatever, the same is happening in the case of GGML. So whenever you are loading a model, in the case of Llama CPP is the one which is the engine which you are running the whole language model in C, right? So what is happening? Matrix calculation has to happen there about the model. Who is doing it? GGML is doing it. GGML is more of C based, which is used for what? Neural network computation for your CPU based platforms. So what happens is, it takes the token embeddings, it multiplies by the weight matrix. You guys know weights, right? In the case of all these nodes, it is going by weight, all of these things are happening. And then comes, applies the attention. Like I said, attention is what? Comparison of each token with each other, understanding the relationship between all of that, and then inferencing. That is what is meant by self-attention mechanism. And then comes running the feed forward layers. So what is feed forward layers? Moving layer by layer. It is feed forwarding. That is what, there's another thing called back propagation. If you guys are interested, you guys can look into it. What is back propagation? Okay. And then comes producing the next token by probability. So what exactly is GGUF? Something that is supporting the GGML stuff. That is what is GGUF. So it is what is, a model is not just numbers. There's a lot of things that is happening under the hood of the model. What all is happening? The architecture info, the tokenizer, the layer count. Okay, layer count in the sense, how many neural network layers are in there. That is what is meant by this layer count. Then attention configuration, quantization type. What do you mean quantization? Imagine you guys are building, you guys have a whole big model. You have a CPU, a small space is there. You have to quantize the model according to what you can do, according to what is available in your case. That is what is meant by quantization. Then comes weight tensors. Obviously, like I said, GGML is going to compute the whole tensors when it comes to the model. Okay. So when Llama CPP, I'll just do a demo right now so that you guys can completely go ahead with it. Yeah. So I have put the whole Llama CPP. Can you guys see this clearly? Okay. So what I've done is, I have cloned the repository. The Llama CPP GitHub repository is completely open source. You guys can take it out and do anything with it. Okay. So what I've done is, I put into one of my folders over here, and I have mounted it over the Ubuntu terminal. Okay. And then what exactly happens is, you have to build this stuff. whenever you are adding a model into this, what is happening? You have to build the whole computation graph, you have to run the whole stuff, and honestly saying, it took me 50 minutes to run the whole stuff because I only have CPU inside this. So it took me time, but I could run a model locally in my laptop, and it was completely C based.
What is your CPU?
Which one?
What is your model CPU?
I think it is AMD. Yeah. And
Which Ryzen? Which
yeah, I think Ryzen.
Can you run
I think
LS CPU?
LSCPU.
Run that command LS CPU? LS CPU without
No space.
without space.
No space.
Okay, okay, okay.
Scroll down.
Yeah. I bought this back in 2021, that I know. I don't know pretty much more about it. Okay, so you have to build the whole stuff whenever you guys are adding a model. Okay, this model can be taken out from Hugging Face. Okay, if you are trying to take out a model which is completely GGUF based, what happens is that you can go to Hugging Face, you can take a model which is according to what your space is, what all space is inside here. I took a model that is having around 7 billion parameters, and it only takes around 614 MB space of mine. That's it. And that is completely tiny llama.gguf. Okay, so whenever you are mounting this in, what you have to do is, okay, let me just go to CD models. Yeah, and I'll just run this, what all things are in there. So this is the model that I took out from Hugging Face, tiny llama, 1.1 billion parameters, and quantization 4. It is having 4 bit of numbers. I've quantized it. I took a sort of model that is according to what my laptop can handle. So that is what I took out. So after mounting and running this whole llama CPP in your terminal, what you have to do is you have to take a supporting GGUF format oru file from a model from that of Hugging Face, and then you can run this whole stuff. Then what exactly happens is that now I'm going to give a command which goes like bin llama.cli models tiny llama 1.1. So what exactly happens over here is that, you know, this place I came across this one thing, right? When llama CPP reads a GGUF file, you know what is happening here? Whenever I give this one command, the llama CPP is going to read the model through this one sentence. Models tiny llama 1.1 GPT GGUF, and then I'm going to give a pretty good answer question towards it. Explain open source software in simple terms. Okay, complete FOSS based. That's why I gave that one question. So whenever doing it is, llama CPP is trying to look into the model. It has already run that before using interactive certain command. We can run the whole stuff, and then I'm going to ask it a certain question. This might take a small time. One second. Yeah, it's running. So it's loading the model currently. This whole llama CPP is trying to load the model, understand the computation graph, understand what exactly is happening inside the model architecture, what all thing it is handling, what all thing it is supporting, and then once after loading the model, it is going to give you a answer. Okay, one thing I understood is that when I tried loading this tiny llama 1, it was not able to do high level of computation, like what is 4 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6. It can't do that because it is very small. Understand? But it was able to give me answers according to data that it already has, like who is the president of India, or maybe not. It might be wrong, but certain questions like explain what is open source software and stuff. All these kind of things it was able to give me.
So when you did the add thing, did you write it as a sentence, like add 4 FOUR plus? Is it like that, or you did 4 plus symbolically?
Which one?
You did some addition or something. Was it done? Did you give it the input
Yes.
symbolically?
This one, symbolically I gave it.
So maybe if you try with language, it might be a bit different.
If I use another better model, it might be able to give me that. Because this model is very quantized, very small. It is only having around like 614 MBs of space, that's it. It is very small. And according to that, it is having lesser amount of data too. Imagine GPT kind of model. It is going to take a lot of space of yours, right? But this model is very small. It is having a bit too small data only because I don't have enough space in there. So as part of doing
You can just do 4 plus 4 as a sentence and show it.
I'll do it. 1 second. After loading this, I'll just show it to you guys, okay? Let the model load right now. Until then, yeah.
Is this running on CPU or GPU?
It is running in CPU because I don't have a GPU.
You fabricated GPU also, I think it's using a little bit of that. APU, right? APU also, yeah. And that's what I was seeing on the top. I saw some of that go there. Must be using that also.
It is taking a bit of time to load the model. 1 second.
When you mean loading the model, it's loading into the memory.
It is loading into the memory, and this llama.cpp is trying to compute the whole stuff, building the computation graph. So what exactly happens in the computation graph? Tokenizing, embedding, looking into the neural networks, understanding the FIFO mechanism, self-attention understanding, applying, all of these things are happening. And after that only, you will get the whole inference answer.
Wait, is that like a default thing or is it based on the input size?
It is based on the input size. Yeah, this input is getting converted into tokens, and these tokens are getting converted into embeddings. This embeddings, FIFO mechanism.
That is what's taking the time at the moment.
Yes, that is what is taking the time at the moment. Yeah, so it has completely run at this point. It is able to give me answers, and this does not require what? Internet or whatever. It could be completely run offline. And your question, 4 plus 4.
No, not symbolically, right? 4 plus
Okay, I'll do that.
So I think it won't do symbolic logic.
I'm not able to see your content on the
It
screen.
doesn't do symbolic logic.
It won't. I tried this, but then it was not that
Try
good.
4 plus
Yeah,
4.
will do.
Let's see what you can do. No, 4 plus P and US.
Okay, 1 second.
It's a language model. Give it a language.
See, it won't do much of computation mathematics because
Hello.
Make it more verbose.
like this, it won't give. This model is not meant for that. See, it is not right. The thing was that this model is not meant for mathematical stuff. It is just a language model. A language model which is trained on a lot of data, in the sense that if you ask it a question like, okay, what's God's own country or something like that. If you're trying for another better model, which is of the GGUF format, obviously it will give you the better output. But since it's not meant for that much good of amount of data, this is more of a demo. So if you're looking into better models, which is of the GGUF format, you can easily run it in CPP and then you can get answers according to that. Okay, this model is not pretty quantized for that. This is just a demo tiny llama one. Okay, so you can take any sort of models out there from Hugging Face, which is based on
running some CPU. So will this give the same output as the same, like it's the same model if you're running it on white or something else? Will this give the same output as that?
it is the same output because the model is same only. The model is same only, right? The model is having the same amount of data. Even if you're using Python or whatever for it, it is going to give answers only that it knows. If you are a medical student and you're put into engineering sector, what are you supposed to do? Nothing. The same way. So if it is going to give you answers, and the number of tokens it has generated over here is 20 tokens per second. Do you guys know the amount of tokens Grok gives you? Grok. Have you tested the speed of Grok? 450 tokens per second is the speed that Grok gives you. It is one of the high speed ones. It is GROQ, not GROK. GROK is one of Elon Musk's whole AI company or whatever it is. So guys, this is what exactly is how Llama CPP works, what is GGUF and GGML. I hope you guys understood a lot of things, and it was great meeting you guys. Any doubts or anything? I think questions, any questions? Yeah, Linux, I ran this whole thing in Ubuntu, like the whole Linux. Yeah, it is Linux on Windows. Yeah, Linux on Windows, that's what. So I hope you guys had a great time. I also had a great time. I hope you guys took a lot of things away from this. So all the best to all of you.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks Joanne for the talk. Next we have Nikhil. Yeah. Next we have Nikhil. So this talk is going to be a bit proper hacker because Nikhil hacked Delhi Metro and he made the transit cards of Delhi Metro basically very hackable so that you can get free travel. So this is going to be a second. Yeah, so they have changed the cards now. I think now there's a new set of transit cards called NCMC cards. So he's going to talk about NCMC cards, his findings on what this new NCMC transit card mean. So Nikhil is primarily a backend engineer. He's not a security engineer. He does this on a hobby time. And he was also trying to attempt to see how Kochi water metro cards are fine as well. This is the past few days. Oh, Mac. USB-C. USB up and down.
This works?
I think so. HDMI ada?
HDMI, right?
Can I start? Hi. I'm not sure whether or not he was bitching about me in Malayalam or not, but sure. Hi. Well, sure. Hi, I'm Nikhil. Before starting this talk, the people who have seen me before, they know that I don't really like to talk about things that I'm currently working on. I like to follow a story, how I started, how I ended. But there is an end. With this, I would like to apologize for that because there is no end. This talk is going to be all around the places, and we have to cover this in like 30 minutes. So there will be a lot of information, and I'm really sorry for that. Which is, I should have, I was making these slides right now, so I do not know when to click next. But okay, one of the reason why this third line is there is because I am tired of people telling me using AI, LLM. I'm very sorry, this is nothing against you. But I'm tired of people telling me that you should use LLM for your projects. First off, LLMs are pretty bad when it comes to like reverse engineering or in general like security stuff. They hallucinate a lot. The other thing is I have some self-respect. This is my personal project, and I would like to spend my time learning about things and researching things. As probably mentioned by Suben, I work as a professional bug fixer, and I really like to find bugs as well. DMRC is Delhi Metro. It was a transit hack. When I was doing it, I thought that I'm just hacking Delhi Metro. After doing it, I realized I almost hacked every other metro in India, so apart from Kochi. So there is a third wave coffee hack if you need free coffee, and there is no third wave here. If you ever come to Bangalore, free coffee on me. They still haven't fixed it. The UPI DPAP thing is something that has seen sunset, but one of my beloved project, running UPI in your terminal or in your, like, anywhere, it's programmable, right? I really like to cook and really like to eat. Story time. Not a complete story. So DMRC original transit card, when it was there, it was not really a dumb card. It was encrypted. It was a very powerful card. The way it was implemented was pretty dumb. But I don't hate those engineers who have implemented it, because the system that they wrote, that they implemented was done in early 2000s when NFC was still a new thing in India. NFC by itself was developed by Nokia in partnership with Sony in 1995, and it was about, like, it was on the way to India at the time when touchscreen was also on the way to India, right? Sony was the first one to bring NFC to India, and before that we only had like dumb RFID cards. By dumb, I mean memory cards, that they do not have a brain of themselves. They just know how to remember things, but not do anything with it. But these are encrypted cards. They can do encryption in the card or on the server, or on the machine itself. So I found a bug in it, and what do they do? The best way to, a lot of you are, I think, students here. The best way you solve a bug is by closing your eyes. If you don't look at a bug, the bug does not exist, right? That's what DMRC did, and that's what majority of the metro in India did. Their solution: let's demonetize everything, get the cards out of the market and launch a new card which is called NCMC. I still do not know what the full form of NCMC is, but that's all right. I will call it One Nation, One Card, because that was the original name for NCMC cards. Yes. So idea is you have one KYC'd, you have to give away your Aadhaar and PAN card for it. You get a transit card that you can use anywhere in buses. As long as it is like government linked somehow, you can use it. That's not how it works. That's the idea. So the KYC part was pretty bad. Airtel was given the tender initially. Is this visible in the end? I think it's pretty small. I'll just zoom it a bit. Yeah. So Airtel came into the market, and of course you're anyway giving away your Airtel account, which is already linked to Aadhaar. But they cannot use that Aadhaar. So they will ask for your Aadhaar one more time. So like they have a data bank now. You are paying 50 rupees with your Aadhaar data to get a transit card. That won't work outside of Delhi, and that is quite shitty in Delhi even. So of course people didn't buy it because it was expensive, and they didn't want to give away their old card. So the project died down. Then one Bangalore startup called Pine Labs, not really a startup, they brought the tender for the entirety of India, and they started selling it on e-commerce website. So you can now get your NCMC card for 50 rupees out of Instamart, right? And you don't require KYC. It's in their terms and conditions, so you don't require KYC. The moment this was released, this line, it was released, I think, at 12 a.m. or something, and from 3 a.m. that day, I have been getting pinged continuously, everywhere, email, messages, etc. Bro, can you hack it? I'm like, sure. So the goal is pretty simple. I don't want free recharges with this. The only thing that I want to do is emulate it on my phone, because it's very simple to Japanese Suica. Japanese Suica is a national transit card in Japan. It is so similar that I think maybe if my phone has NFC, I can just tap my phone and enter, right? And I can pay via my phone, because that's already possible halfway. So free recharge is a secondary thing, but I slowly starting to believe that that will be the primary thing again, because people are forcing me to do it. The other thing is documenting everything. One other thing that I get cursed for, not documenting things. So here's the documentation. The card itself, I will show you. So this is how the card looks like. I won't turn it away. It has my personal data. And this is how it comes to your place. It has a really bank-like note inside, which tells you that there is an app called Bharat Yatra, which you can use to like recharge the card, etc., which is a quite interesting thing. Card itself has a 7-byte UID. Really need to focus on the initial bytes because those 2 bytes define the card type, where the card comes from, right? As usual, the card is just a copy. I think it's a Chinese clone of the famous Mi Fair cards. There is something called, when the hardware information is provided to any reader, there is something called SAC. It's a select acknowledge. The value of it decides whether or not a card is dumb. The dumb that I talked about previously. So a hex value of 0, it means dumb. A hex value of 28 means it follows the standard which is called ISO dep, which is ISO 14443-4. Although it's a ISO, but you have to pay like $2,000 out of your pocket to get a hold of it. That's a major problem with working with NFCs. No documentation whatsoever. You have to guess a lot of things. Not a lot of things, everything. So it can handle complex stuff. It can do hashing inside of the card. It can do encryption on the inside of the card, and that too really fast. And it can handle payments as well. There is a magnetic strip in the back. You see, it's pretty hard to see backside, but there is some sort of a smart card feature as well. So it's a smart card. It's a banking card. It's also a magnetic strip card. It's an NFC card as well. It's also a transit card. So a lot of things that you have to look through. One nation, one. It's a very stupid idea. If it is a transit, call it if you're calling it a transit card, it should be for transit. Why do I have to pay my food bill with this? So the rest of the information is scanned via an Android app called NXP's Tag Info. You can download it, it's free. And a tool called Proxmark. Why I mentioned that it does everything really fast? Because there is a FWI, which is called a frame rate integer, with a value of 7. It means that if, I mean, it's written right there. If I don't respond within 30 milliseconds, it's from the card's POV. If the card does not reply to any message between, before 38 milliseconds, the connection will be closed. So it has to do the encryption bullshit and hashing bullshit in that 38 millisecond and return as well. The max frame size is 256 bytes. So if the data is more than 256 bytes that the card needs to send or receive, then that will be chunked. There is a historical byte section. This is something like, I mean, you can call it a resume for the card, how the card wants to present itself. So the card can lie about themselves as well, because all of this is programmable. So it runs Java inside. It's a Java applet card. It's nothing new. I mean, older age SIM cards, when we had 2G GPRS, those also used to run Java inside. There were multiple Java applets that will run. That was the reason why in the T9 phones, when you insert the SIM card, you will see a new app appearing. There will be a new app, Apple app, right? Apple app, Airtel app or something. So Rupe calls, so it's entirely based on Rupe. Rupe has this subsidiary platform called QSpark. QSpark handles offline payment. And QSpark by itself is also a Java applet that runs in an operating system. That operating system lives in the card. The operating system is called Global Platform, GP, and the version is pretty important. The version 2.2.1, because this is documented. The version below it or above it have been removed from their website. But this is also important because 2.2.1 is the only version in global payment that is vulnerable. But we are not going to talk about those vulnerability yet. There is a handshake protocol that goes on between, like when you put the card, password is never shared in clear sight. So even if you record the communication somehow, you won't see the password there because there is a 3-disk like handshake going on. So the problem with the second line is that, which is the bug basically with global platform, is while encrypting with AES, the initialization vector, the IV field, is set to zeros. And normally it should be a random value, but it's set to zeros. So that makes it easy to do plain text attack. Plain text attack is pretty simple. Like you guess the key, and then you calculate the time when the card responds to you. If the card is, card is going to say the key is not correct, right? Because oftentimes you're guessing a 32-bit integer. If the card responds pretty early on, it means that like the initial section of the key was wrong. If the card replies a bit late, it means maybe the first few characters are correct and the middle key is wrong. So it will take like a month or so to figure out the key that way, which is better than like 10 years, the original, right? So it has a PPSE. PPSE is proximity payment system environment. It's basically when you tap your card to pay somewhere, that is PPSE. So PPSE is nothing but a directory that lives inside that operating system. It can mimic as a lot of things. There are multiple cards which can mimic as a MasterCard, a RuPay card, and other things as well. And all of those will be basically folders, multiple folders. So when you tap your card, the machine does not know what card you are tapping. So that is where the machine will start going through all the directories that the card has, and will figure out what type of card it is. It's called application ID. It's all right. I'm anyway reading it off of the screen so people can read it. So in one of these directories, there should be a file which mimics offline transaction. Plan is quite simple. Pretty jittery. Yeah. Plan is quite simple. It's an ISO debit card. We already figured that out. Android has a pretty good documentation on ISO debit. It's pretty simple. You initialize the ISO debit card. You call a method called transceive, and you can communicate with the card. 2 lines of code. We know the RuPay PPSE directory. We already know it. There is some complex thing I'm not going to talk about because that will take like an hour or so. And after that, doing something, we should be able to read our offline balance. This is possible because the Bharat Yatra app that it ships with, the Android app, it can also do that. You can tap your card behind your phone. It won't make any internet call. And it can read the balance out of it and also recharge the card.
The balance is for the transit part?
Yes. Because that's the offline thing. Yeah. I have already talked about it. Now that we have talked about the hardware side of things, we need to talk about the software side of things, because the app is quite interesting and also shitty at the same time. Who all have worked with Flutter here? Yeah, fuck you. I'm going to explain my hate, and I'm pretty sure by the end of this talk, you are going to hate Flutter as well. I'm pretty sorry, man. That nothing personal. I know, right?
But Google also says fuck you to Flutter now.
Yeah. That's a Google tradition anyway. All right. Let's move ahead. I have less time. I have to go cover a lot of things. Yeah. So it's made with Flutter. The problem with Flutter is it works similar to a Java VM and Java code. So Java will compile to a intermediary section, right, where you can still make sense out of it. The problem with Flutter is the code that you write, it compiles to native with a different instruction set. So you have your base instruction set, the ARM instruction set. And on top of that, Dart VM will also have its own bullshit, right? So even if you decompile the app, it won't make sense to you. An example, Boolean true is normally hex 1, not in Dart VM. In what world will I look at hex 20 and it's like, Boolean true? Right? Not going to happen. This single thing took me like half an hour or like 1 hour to figure out that, okay, it's a Boolean value. Oh fuck, there is code. I'm pretty sorry to the people who are sitting in the back. You won't be able to see it. You check the live stream. The way we are going to talk about, so Java VM won't just directly work, right? Oh, sorry, Dart VM won't just directly work. You need to start the Dart VM somehow and then load your application, compiled application on top of it. To start the VM, you need native space, something written in Kotlin or Java, directly talking, and you will start the VM that way. The native side itself has some checks. The first time you run the app, if you have developer option enabled, it won't work. It will throw you an error. The phone is unsecure. I'm not sure how it is unsecure, but it is unsecure. So what we can do is, when the app runs, everything will be in plain sight, in the memory. We can hook in the memory. We can scan the memory. We can figure out, I'm looking for this function with this signature. Do you know? And because it's ARM, you can just guess already what the signature will look like in memory, because it's ARM and it's a documented instruction set. So you start looking for that thing. It's a simple now loop search that you are doing in memory. There is a pretty good tool called Frida. Frida will do that for you. The way Frida works is, if you need type annotations, you can import that line, but that's not the primary part. There is a java.perform section in which you will put your code. This section will only be run when your targeted app has started and loaded into memory properly. After that, before even the splash screen occurs, you can do something with it. The app will pause and you can do something on the fly. Because you can do something. You can hook into memory. You can also change memory. Changing memory as in I'm adding my own code there. That does not exist in the phone. Does not exist in the app. That section for the people in the back, it's basically logging anywhere I want. It will throw a stack trace anywhere I want, which is pretty useful. If I'm at a state where I do not know how I got it here, from where, I can just throw a stack trace there, and I will exactly know where I am coming from. You can do things like this. There is a build config in Bharat Yatra. It's a class, and by default, if it is in production, debug value will be false, right? But you can set it to 1. You can set it to 2. And the thing is, I thought I achieved something with this. But I didn't. Because these fucking guys, all the debug value, there is a field. There is a build config.debug.value. It is not getting used anywhere. All of their configs, all of their debug statements are in plain sight already. It's my fault that I trusted them to be good engineers. If Pine Labs people are looking at this, please hire me. Where's the camera? Please hire me if you are. Then everything majorly happens in the main activity, right? All the Android developers, like if you're making, even if you want to load any application afterwards, any screen afterwards, you need to make some checks. That's where we are failing right now. So we'll load our main activity with something called java.use. And then in that main activity, it is loaded, because it's in memory, it's loaded as a key map. Basically name mapped to the exact memory location where it is located. So in the key map, the function names are not stripped down. So the method name is not stripped down. So one of the method is called check device security. If the check device security returns true, it means the app shouldn't run on the app. So you can just force it to return false. Other things like verify app signature. App signature will change if you make edits in the app. There is a function to check that. What if it always returns true? That, okay, signature is always correct.
Done by Frida.
With Frida, in memory, yeah. Or show tempering alert, the alert that we were looking at. It's a separate window, right? What if you bypass it? The whole method is just return void. I mean, the function call happens, it returns directly. Or there is something called play integrity. The people who have rooted their phone know the pain with play integrity. There is a function to check play integrity. What if it always returns 0? Return 0 is play integrity passes. Right? Shit like that. But we still have to talk about .vm and Flutter. That's the hard part. Because everything is compiled, we do not know how to disassemble it. Because even if we disassemble it, there is a .vm layer with its own instruction set that we need to go past. Now the problem with that is every version of Dart is recompiled. Like if I download version 1, the memory mapping inside of it will change with version 2. So I have to figure out what version of Dart it is running. Pretty easy, there is a file for it in the app. I figured that out. And then recompile Dart with Dart from source with that version, with that tag. And then start reverse engineering that to figure out what all instruction sets are there. Now I have a map in my brain. And I will start recompiling it. In the middle of it, I realized that Blutter people, Blutter is an open source app that exactly does this. It somehow is revived. Because 2 years back, it was dead. So I always did it by hand, and then I realized that, okay, there is an app that can automate everything. It's not perfect, but it does it. Note, show Blutter. I will show you Blutter, how Blutter looks like. Yeah, so this is an example of like Blutter. On the right, oh, yeah, people in the back, like you're so done. You're missing good stuff. So in the assembly, it's not perfect. It will just try to guess a lot of things. So in here, there is something called, there is a main.dart, which is the entry point for the app, similar to main application. Main.dart calls to a function called splash controller. So there are two splashes. One splash that is happening in native with its own check. and there is another splash that is happening in the Dart side with its own check. To bypass the Dart checks, we need to be a bit smart because we need to change something that we do not know of. So we need to take guesses that this memory address, I need to change these bytes, something like that. We can do that, a bit hard. Okay, I will try to go through it really easily. I think I will show Blutter side before. If you scroll a bit here, there is a method call here which is is device secure. If this fails, then it will call a function called navigate to security warning screen. Here I would like to thank you these app developers to not strip down the names, because that is a argument that they can pass. The name is pretty clear enough that where are we going to this function. So we just check where where are we going to this, like how we reach this function. We somehow realize that okay, after this last check, is device secure, it makes a comparison check here, and this is that same fucking hex 20. And if it passes the check, it will jump to a field where there is no coming back. Like the app is going to exit afterwards. It will show an error prompt and will exit. So the thing is quite simple. Instead of it being a conditional jump, we can make it an unconditional jump, which is similar to C's goto, like the goto function. Goto, it's not a function, but you get it, right? So we can do that. So when libapp is our code. When it gets loaded into memory, the Dart compiled object, when it gets loaded into memory, we just go to that particular address. It's called a .add. So you get the base address because there is ASLR happening in Linux, right? It's not defined where the app is going to get loaded in memory. So you need to check that on runtime. We check that on runtime. We have a random address in our hand now. We add that to our base address, the one that we figured out right now from Blutter. And then we patch it with a BIMM, which is basically unconditional jump. Don't make any compares, just jump. And that jump happens right after calling that function, calling the function which is called navigate to security screen. So I'm jumping like somewhere here, bypassing that call. Good, we are in the app. Now, there are more checks, because of course.
So we are in the app's memory space.
No, the app has finally let us in. Abhi tak app was not even working. So now that the app is working, you will think that, oh, I can tap my card and just look into the memory space again to what exactly is going on, what functions are being called, etc. Not that simple. Because these people had this brilliant idea that why write code ourselves? Why write the NFC side of code ourselves when we can ask a tech giant called CC Avenue, which handles a lot of credit card transaction, to write that for us. So CC Avenue, I do not know how much money they laundered, but they wrote a SDK called TapPay. TapPay SDK, pretty clear enough what it is trying to do, right? Tapping and payment. The problem with CC Avenue is, although it's Java, everything is dynamic. Every single thing is dynamic. There are around 150 classes loaded in CC Avenue to conduct one simple thing. Those 2 lines of code that I just mentioned, ISO-dep initialization and calling .transif, to achieve those 2 things, there is a 15 megabyte library. And because everything is dynamic, you cannot just statically look into what to hook into. Like that's normally how it goes, right? You will look into the app and figure out where to hook. You cannot do that. Solution is a bit different, think differently app. So the root cause, who is snitching on us? Who is telling CC Avenue that Frida is in memory space? Somebody is looking into memory space. The answer is timing, man. Wait. Oh, this is a good bit. Let me just save the file. I didn't save the file. The problem is kernel. Kernel is snitching on us, right? How is kernel snitching on us? If the PID is loaded, PID is running, you can go to that PID file. It's a folder, right, at the end of the day. You can go there and you can look the map and smap. That will show you the exact location where ASLR has feeded the base memory at. So all of the libapp.so that we just saw and all of the dynamic object that we have, that will be given here in map and smap. What if we change the value for map and smap? what if we always make it lie? That okay, map and smap, just lie. If you see the string Frida in memory, just call it VDSO, right? VDSO is always there. VDSO is what makes ASLR work. It's a default binary that will be attached with every shared object. It's a Linux kernel thing. So we make a custom kernel. This is the end of the story, but I will let you know how it looks like. I was trying to open the kernel source in browser, but yeah. So it's pretty simple. There is a it's not that simple, but okay. I'll try to explain it to you. There is a method. There is a method called show map VMA. This is the output for the /map file, which is where it shows the output. And what majority of the app do to figure out if something is looking into the memory space or not, they will just check the output for map, and because at that particular point of time, the checker already knows what all should be loaded. So it can make a disjoint set, set out of it. If the disjoint set value is null, then of course nothing is loaded into the memory and we are all good. But if the value is 1, it means there is something else that the checker does not know about, and that will flag it, and nothing will work. VDSO always loads, right? We know that. It's a Linux kernel thing. So what if every time we see, 1 minute, just 1 second. Every time we see something with Frida, or there is a good check somewhere that I put. Yeah, every time we see something like Frida or gmain, gmain is the utility which actually injects into the memory, and it always has this name in the smap and map. And gum.js and linjector, these are all names, nicknames for Frida that it has to load in memory to work. Every time you have this in the smap, you always return null, and it will default to VDSO. You're getting the picture, right? If the kernel lies to everything, then we can just hide our Frida in memory, and CCAvenue won't be able to figure it out. No, I mean, you cannot make those tricks. For that to happen, you will have to load CCAvenue in kernel.
Oh yeah, it's not
Yeah. It's not computer, it's not Valorant. Valorant anti-cheat. So it won't work. This is where I leave you. The custom kernel thing is currently in progress. I mean, I have a compiled thing. My phone is sadly dead, so I cannot flash that new kernel into it. But all of this information comes from a really good developer who actually developed Frida, solo developer, and it's linked to in my office shit, man. I cannot. I think I have it somewhere. So yeah, it's called NCMC Transit card. This is where the entirety of the documentation is. I try to update it as fast as possible. This is all of the thing that you have just seen. It's currently sitting live. The kernel thing is currently on the fly. The moment that happens, it is going to work because, as mentioned by the Frida developers, there is no bypass for it. And as mentioned by you, because you cannot make sure if the kernel is lying or not. You have to blindly trust it. The only way you can not trust it is by making the checks that we just bypassed. You can make those checks, but if you are bypassing those, we can just easily bypass it as well. After this, what's the plan after this? After that, it's as simple as sniffing out the NFC data that it is that goes on. Somewhere the phone has to know what encryption key to use to generate a session token, which session token will be used to talk to the card. We can reverse engineer that logic. That is pretty easy. Why? Because I did that with DMRC card as well. So whatever happens after this is already being done. I just have to port that knowledge again into here. And I think we will have a working solution afterwards. Yeah, pretty much that's it. Questions? Same thing. So any metro, so there is a pretty cool logo. I can show it here. Hey, not, maybe it's here. Yeah. Yeah, so if your card has this logo, it's NCMC enabled. So whatever works here will work there. And Kochi 1 card has it. Kochi 1 actually was the first metro to ever implement NCMC. Questions?
The Flutter thing, it was made for reverse engineering or just Flutter does was usually used?
No, reversing.
Just for reverse.
Yeah.
It might be dumb, I mean, the companies are supposed to do this name mapping thing, right? Like when the compilation is done.
That's why I thanked them so many times. They are not doing it.
Oh, so it's a Dart thing.
There is a flag when you compile with Dart, you can do the name mangling. Yeah, but they are not doing it. I shouldn't have said it. Now if they see it, they will do it. It will be pretty hard then. But yeah. Any other questions?
I have one more. You mentioned about offline the balance of the card inside, right? So on all the transit cards, the balance, like whatever money I have for traveling,
It always lives on the card, yeah.
offline integer value.
Yes, it's a signed 32-byte integer.
So wouldn't it be possible to change that as well?
That's why I said ki primarily, I think the primary target will become recharging the card again.
Replay attached would be possible, I guess.
No. The 3-day session token thing that I just talked about, the handshake that happens initially, it stops that. You cannot bypass it.
So any value change in the card that happens, any value change in the card that happens, what, like with the app? So we change values from the app, right?
Yep. Yeah. That is one of the things that I actually want to try because even before doing anything, if I don't want to reverse engineer everything, there will be a point of time where the phone will actually write something to the card, our balance, right? What if that balance is in clear text? What if? Or there is a function that is calling it, right? So I can use Frida to inject into it, and at the runtime, when the function gets called, if it is like 20 rupees, I can make it 100 rupees, something like that. No, I have to reach that point.
So that will be somewhere in the app. That will be somewhere in the app, right?
Yeah, of course.
So let me get this correct. The phone recharges the card.
Yes.
Pretty cool, man.
Thank you.
Wait, one more question.
Ask.
No, it's a processor card, right?
I cannot hear you, man.
No, it's not a memory card, right? It's a processor card. So it can encrypt the data, right? Inside.
Sorry?
It's a processor card. Like the card has processing abilities.
I don't get you, man.
Card has processing ability.
Yes.
Okay, so you have to modify the app in order to modify the values, right? In the card.
I cannot make out anything that you are trying to say.
Come close.
Camera.
Camera.
Say it.
Okay, so if I just copy the data from the card.
You cannot. Because it is I initially said that the card can lie about itself, right? So if the card is at in an encrypted state and you haven't done the handshake properly, it will just lie that it's an empty card.
Okay.
That's what Kochi Metro Water Metro card also does.
Okay, so you have to modify the app in order to.
Yes. Then the card will change its value again. It will start telling the truth after you do the handshake.
Yeah, I've been playing with the
Okay.
I'll give it a try later.
KSRTC card is Chalo. It's a private app, a private company. It's also a processor card.
Okay.
But I think Chalo card is directly connected with the internet, I think. Yeah, the Chalo card I think is connected with the internet. This is the logo. Is this the NCMC logo?
No.
Sorry?
It's an NFC card.
No. So for the handshake, it's 3 days. For the handshake, it's 3 days. But the card that is the data that is being stored in the card, it's AES 256. The communication that happens between the card and the reader, that is AES 256 plus MAC. So you have to bypass MAC as well.
Okay.
Okay. So if anybody has old DMRC card, if anybody have, can we compromise that
Yes?
easily?
No, you have to go to the station.
No. Can we like add money from our side.
But you have to go to the station.
What type, like,
Yes.
that one?
Yeah.
How?
He has a blog.
There is a blog, literal blog. But don't do it. I got in trouble for that. Don't do it.
What else? Anything else? Any other questions? Any other questions? Okay, we are going to have a break now. You can ask all further recharge questions to him. Okay, let's have a break. It's in the pantry above now. On the rooftop. Okay, nice. Very nice. Okay, let's have a break. Thank you, Nikhil, for a wonderful talk. And let's
തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും.
Okay, so let's start. Anubokelle. Okay, let's start with continue with the next talk. So Gino is going to do it. Gino is a founder of Sakya Digital Conservation Foundation. So recently we had the LSG elections, local self-government elections. And for the elections, every time we would see data graphics of how many people won each ward and all. So usually this was like a closed data thing because people were usually, every newspaper would have some infographics. But these infographics used to be fragmented. Manorama would do one thing, Madhurumi would do one thing. But now they have built like a consolidated open data for the local self-government elections. And this talk is going to be about that, the Kerala story of open data. Okay. So since there is no High Court stay, this talk will be continuing for this. Huh? What? Oh, that's the VLC media player. We have Anish. If you want custom VLC orders, where is Anish? Anish is the guy for 3D printing VLC custom. If you want to, anything custom prints. So one more thing I wanted to mention. Oh, Wikipedia is celebrating its 25th birthday. Wikipedia was founded in 2001. Yeah, Jimmy Wales, the founder of Wikipedia, came to Kerala. He was in KLF, Kerala Literature Festival in Kozhikode. We had a celebration of a cake there as well. Wikipedia and cakes are very mashed together for our meetups. We have multiple cakes from Wikipedia always. Would like to thank Wikimedia Foundation for keep supporting us with cakes and all. Thank you, Wikimedia Foundation. So we will have a cake cutting. I guess after this talk, at the end, we can cut the cake at upstairs as well. Is fine. Okay. And we will continue. So one more mention I have to give is Open Data Kerala. So this is website opendatakerala.org. There are more such open data initiatives that happens in Kerala where you can make visualizations out of. I'm also a very big fan of it because I also make use of very open data things. So I will let Gino tell more about our Open Data Kerala story.
Hi, I'm audible. There, right? So, do I need to mention about open data? Yes. Do I need to mention about data? Yes. Oh, okay. So, all of you are using the data, right? In your hands, in your watch, smartwatch, phones, laptops. We are using different types of data in our day-to-day lives, right? So, what about the open data? The data that you are getting you're seeing in internet, is all the information is open or just you just download those information? Yeah, it's free to you see, so it's completely free to download. You using that way, or what kind of way you are getting the data? Most of the time we'll get those information on the internet. Most of the time the information not be like a free to download. Yeah, it can be free to watch, like whether the Google Maps are free to download those information. You can see those information, right? They will ask you to contribute to Google Maps, but when you ask to get those information downloaded, or when you ask for that information, I want to make the API request, they'll charge for that millions of rupees. So Open Data Kerala is an initiative by the communities in Kerala based on the real data, not based on the WhatsApp forwards. So it is a community like started in 2020. It's like a collaborative effort from different communities. It includes the Wikimedians, Wikipedians, the open data, the people who contribute to the open data movement, and lot of Southern Malayalam computing. Lot of people contribute to like different combine that we formed this initiative. So this is a logo that we propose, our community logo, right? So we can propose our own logo. So in Malayalam we write like car, right? So it symbolically represents a lock, but it's open. The car, we Open Data Kerala. It's a Kerala related information. So we Kerala. Right now it's Kerala. We are going to change the name, and the Telegram we have changed the name. The logo designer needs to be changed the name. Yeah, someone sponsor a domain also, we will do that one. So it's like we are creator working on the data set that's completely open to everyone. They can download this information. So the logo also denote that one. So it's not a closed one, it's an open one. The people can use the information completely for free. They can view the information, they can download this information. So we started that project in 2020. So this is some of the initiative that we have started initially, like during the time of pandemic, a lot of COVID vaccination centers was not easily available on the internet to locate and identify. So we work on with the community members, contributed to map those all information, the COVID vaccination centers in Kerala. Then the historical data, we release that under open license on the Wikipedia pages. If you are going to the Wikipedia pages of India, later one, all this information, you can get the information which is coming from the Wikidata project and from the other Open Data Kerala project. So you can get those information, historically information, you can download those information for a research purpose and use those one. So most of the time you can see the live data information on the website. But when you go for the historical data, initially it was not available easily to the public. There are some technicality issues, or the like people doesn't know about the technical things. Yeah, they will struggle to get those information. So we made that information completely for free, like in a format that can be accessed easily to them. So the government initially started the work in some of the PDF formats. So whether the PDF is open data or not at all, right? It will little struggle initially to get those data, but yeah, right now AI can do a lot of things. But initially, when we started working on this project, yeah, there was no AI boom. So we did that manually, and we work on those historical data. And right now you can access those information on our GitHub platform. So this is one of the initiative that we started, the ward level mapping in Kerala. So how many of you are outside from Kerala? Very few of you, right? So do you know your ward name? Most of you know the ward number, right? Because you are going for the election for doing the voting purpose. So you are familiar with the ward number. But some of you have noticed a ward name, but most of you haven't noticed a ward name, right? Can I know why you haven't noticed a ward name?
But I think ward name is more popular than a number. No? The ward number is more. In the survey, they attach the ward number.
So in the survey they use a ward number. On the house, the name card they put the ward number. Election also they prefer to have the ward number.
Is it an urban rural thing? Because in my place it is a rural. People know the names more than the. But numbers always change too.
Most of the posters for the election purpose they mostly prefer, they put the ward number like instead of the ward name, because the people are familiar with the ward number instead of the ward name.
But names, numbers always change now.
Not okay, so we'll go with that. So can you raise your hands who knows the ward name? Subin, you know ward name, right? Okay. Now your lover's ward name. Okay. So this mapping that we are done, that was in the OpenStreetMap. So most of you know about the OpenStreetMap, right? So most of you know about Wikipedia, right? So similar way, OpenStreetMap is a platform where we can host the maps completely for free, whether we can download this information completely for free. So we started the mapping of the wards on the OpenStreetMap. The Panchayat level, the LSD mapping was completed initially, and again we started the like a ward level mapping. So in Kerala, do you know how many wards was there before this election, 2025 election? In 2010 delimitation, how many wards was there? 40. Just come little less. 21. So 21,000 wards was there in Kerala before like a 2025 election. So right now, how many wards are there? No, not that much. Like nearly like 22 some numbers are there wards right now. So in 2025 they started a delimitation process. So nearly 1,000 some wards, nearly less than 2,000. Yeah. 24,000. Yeah, some. So this was done in 2020, and still we are continuing, and our volunteers and community members are continuing their activities till this election. So there was no information that was publicly available in the government side also. We have put the RTA request also. So the government we doesn't have those information with us. So yeah, so we started that mapping activity, and we started creating a map portal because lot of public wants those information. The researchers need this information. Lot of government wanted this information. So during the time of the floods in Kerala, there are a lot of things that was not mapped initially on the, even though in the Google Maps also, that was not available. For the rescue purpose and all, the people mostly prefer with the local people, because the local people knows the reality or the land knowledge than the Google Maps, because the Google Maps, all these platforms are contributed to the volunteers. But the roads, the local the point of information or the way to reach a coordinate or reach a place is completely not easy while we are navigating to the Google Maps. Even though while I'll coming to this place also, I struggle a lot to reach this place with the maps. So the road was not showing to me, like I went to like a little more distance and returned back. So that the people can do after this. So we create a map portal. I will show the map portal. So these are some of the information which are available on the map portal. So the information is completely coming from the OpenStreetMap, Wikipedia, and the Wikidata. So you can go to this map portal and you can download this information based on your needs. That's completely for free without any donation to Google's or. So this is one of the municipality that we have shown like on the map portal. So you can search for the municipality name or the LSC name or there, and you can get those information. If you want just a boundary, you can get those information. If you want to get some of the road networks or police stations or hospitals or there, you can filter out those place and that can be downloaded. So this is a work that we are done with collaborating with the IIT Palakkad. So there is a requirement, they want to map the Palakkad, the Puducherry Panchayat. So we with the community members has went over there. So we map those information with the people over there. Like we have the ward members over there. So we went along with them and we marked the ward boundaries based on the information provided by them. Because there are the local point of contact who have much information than any other. So we released that information under open license, open data license. And in 2020, the work we are done, like we started the work on the LSC, Panchayat, Gram Panchayat, Municipality Corporation data. We released that information on 2020. And the Malayalam Manorama, which was one is a leading newspaper, citation needed, in Kerala or maybe in India, Kerala. They haven't changed the name. So they have used Engage with us because they also doesn't have the map files with them, with the exact. They have the Kerala map boundary, they have the district boundary, but they doesn't have the information about the panchayats, the boundary. They have the values, the data values from the government, but doesn't have the map values. So one of the community members and we did our work for the Malayalam Manorama, and the map has got released on the Malayalam Manorama after the 2020 election, LSC election in Kerala. On the map portal, the image is not that much clear. The paper you can see they have given the proper credit to the users, and they also mention it's under Creative Commons license, like an open data license. On that day, they have done that. After that, they haven't done the proper credit. So this is this year, 2025, the work we have done for this election. Again, they doesn't have the information because the wards has been changed. The Panchayat shape had been got changed, and yeah, after the delimitation happened this last year, 2025. So this year also, we have provided the information. This year also they have given the credit on that day. After that I have not seen, they have given the credit. So I can show the portal that we have developed this year. So the basic idea of creating of this portal is like we have the data from the Election Commission data. So if you have watched the news during the time of election, if you switch to one channel and to some other channel, you see lot of data has to be like the count information that which are showing on the news portal is entirely different on different platforms. If you watch one, for example, channel A, you can see like one party has won like 110 seats. On next channel, you can see 120. There will be like a lot of difference on the news channel. So the one of the reason is because they are getting a local, there are a lot of news reporters over there. They are getting the information from the local news reporters, but which are not published by the Election Commission. So once the Election Commission has been published those information, it is official information. So till that point, whatever the news is coming from the local information, it's just like similar to the WhatsApp forwards. It's like it's not like a actual data. It's like a somewhat, yeah, they are getting the information from some point of contact. Sometimes this information will get changed. It's in the news channel, right? They can change the information even though in the paper. The front page, if they can show a big map. On the next page, they can show in a small portal, there is some error on yesterday's map. It is sorted out. But for us, yeah, we can do that one, right? Because we are doing that as an open data portal and we are releasing that data. So we focus on the information which is coming from the election commission website. So one of the, during the time of the election that we have got a message on the chat, yeah, it is not showing the actual information. Then we told like, go and check on the election commission website, what are the information coming on our portal. We are lively scraping those information on the election commission website. So the election commission website, they have the information about in the tabular format data. So they are keep on changing the information once the new data has been pumped, new data has been updated. So we are regularly tracking those information. Initially, it was less number of words. So it is very easy to get scrapped of those information. When those information is getting updated, it's cumulatively the data is like getting more time to scrap, and it took like nearly 30 minutes to scrap the entire information. Because most of the time, once the data has been declared only, they have shown it as like a winner or something like that. Till that point, they are shown like it is a leading only. So we need to check whether it's leading or won. Sometimes after on the election commission website also, we notice that after won also they have changed the information like after some time. So we are checking all those information at every point of time. Like we'll go and check all those information because we don't know whether that has been got changed or not, because they are not keeping a track which has been changed, which has not been changed. So we created a portal. Initially, it was not like that. It was like a little messy, like a portal, because I started creating this one. Yeah, it has been helped with the LLM because I'm not a programmer. I don't know much about the programming. So yeah, I did a LLM. But the design and idea concept is mine head. Only the code has been developed by supported by the LLM. But how this visualization needs to be there, how it should be like navigated, I share that idea. It should be in this way. Because if you are shared some visualization to some people with some data, sometimes it will be easy to understand. But when you are telling a story to people to understand how this data has been processed, how we are going deep in that data, we need to show them, yeah, you need to click this one, then you will get to understand, yeah, what's in that information, right? So sometimes, most of the time, if you are seeing a lot of tabular data, it is not easy to understand from the tabular data what's the information or the. If you are seeing a Kerala map without just some points, like this party has won on this number of votes, whether that will be good, or if you have shown the map with the color codes. Definitely, with the color code information, it will be easy to understand which party or which has been got more number of presence or that particular location, right? So we are user color codes or the. So if we click, it's a entire Kerala map which has been loaded initially. So if you click that any of the map, it will navigate to the district first instead of going to the LSD initially first, because the people wants to know about a district also as well, right? So on the first page, we shown if you hover the mouse or the particular LSD, you can see the information which party has won on particular location. And when we navigate, so initially the idea is like not this much of information was there. So when we click the Kerala map, it's got directly to LSD. So I thought like if you go directly to LSD, it will not easy to understand if the people want to know about a district. So we added a district part after that, after the feedback we have got. So if you if I navigate how the mouse over there, you can see the performance of the particular panchayat. The panchayat name is seen on the right side. If I want to see the district only, there are different classification divisions are in the LSG, district panchayats are the gram panchayat as a block panchayat are the. So we have added a tabs to show that information. So once if you click that the particular panchayat or I will click the block panchayat over here. So here you can see those information. We added the information about how many seats a particular friend has got, and also the ward level classification, which party has won on the particular ward. So if I click any of the wards over here, I can also see all those information. How many people has contested on the particular ward and the vote share they have received. So the most of the news medias, when they are showing those information, they are just showing the information about the people who have won or people who are leading. But when the person who has voted on if you are a person who has a voter for a candidate, you also need to know about the person, whether the person I voted have won or not. Sometimes the person you have voted might have failed or right. So you also need to know how many votes he have got, whether he won because of my only vote in some places. Because of one vote, some people has won. And there are a lot of places there have been tied also. So yeah, there was also requests. We also, initially this information was not there. So based on the feedback, we added this information like how many people have got like votes won, as well as how many people have also not won that election. So right now it's we have the data page on backend. Alla, static site ആണ്. Static site ആണ്. GitHubൽ data ഉണ്ട്. CSV file ഉണ്ട്. Yes, so Subhi will add that feature request to this map soon. Yes. തോറ്റു വരുന്ന map. So we have like a two portals, or initially we added the data portal because the map portal was not easy to access because the government has, like I told, government have the data information with them, but they are not publishing this map under open data license, or the map is not easy to access. So initially we scrapped those information from the government portal. We check the information, the map shapes are correct or not. Then we identify. There are some 24,000 some wards was there, right? On the map, we've identified there are more than 26,000 wards was there because of the mapping activity they have done on that map. Because there are a lot of holes, there are some wards has been split to half because of the person who went to the field and then the mapping. So there was a lot of efforts I initially need to do to fix those things. Then I sorted that with the help of the LLM itself. So the idea was like, we have the open data in our backend about how many wards are there on the previous delimitation, how many wards are there in the present delimitation. So we have a open data, like a open database. So we have a data, we have like have you ever know about the Wikidata project? Heard about the Wikidata project? Yes, right? Yeah, we have, yeah. I also seen that photo. So we have built a Wikibase project for the Open Data Kerala. So if you go to the Wikibase, this opendatakerala.wikibase.cloud, you can get all this information about the Kerala. Again, so you can download the how many wards are there. So right now it's like a previous, we haven't pushed the current ward information over there. But we have the Panchayat information over there and the count number of wards on the previous delimitation and the present delimitation. So we check those information, we compare those information. So which all Panchayats, which all local body have more number of wards which was showing the map. We check with the LLM and we listed out those things and we manually check the inconsistency in that map and fix those issues in the map. So because of that, map right now is showing the correct information. So because of that, Manorama contacted us this time also. We given us information. So on the paper, if you check the paper or the map that has shown, is that we have shared the data which is under open license. And the map also, we asked whether the Manorama has the data, so we can easily get those information on the map. We also doesn't have the data. Okay, so we have the data. We have shared the data with them. As a disclaimer, the data is from the Election Commission website. So the Election Commission only keeps the information if some other candidates has been contested on the election, like an independent candidate with the support of some political parties, On the Election Commission website, it will not show the political party over there. It will show just as a independent candidates. Because of that, in our portal, it will show as an independent candidate only. But when it comes to the real situation, because we doesn't have the knowledge about the real situation on the ground, right? If the person, the independent candidate is supporting a political party, it will sometimes, if there's a panchayat with a tie, if one candidate has been supported by another political party, that tie can be break and that party has been selected as a leading party, right? So because of that information in our portal, we told like has a disclaimer. It's completely the information is coming from the Election Commission data. We also given the disclaimer to the media team also, Manoram also on that day. So they released the map on the map page, and some people has commented out to us, the information is not accurate. In my panchayat, this has been won, this local candidates has been supported by a political party. So we asked them. So once the government doesn't have, or the information is not in the public, yeah, there will be like the data will be not accurate or will not that much of knowledge. So the need of the open data is also the same thing. If the data is not publicly available or the publicly available information is not having that information, the exact information that we are shown on the platform also has some this little changes, right? So while we are talking about the AI also, right now we are getting the information. When we ask the questions to the AI, we are getting the information. So when we get that information, from where we are getting that information, from where the AI is getting the information. So AI also relies on the most of the other platforms and also some of the inputs. If you train the AI, 1 + 1 is equal to 3, AI will also learn 1 + 1 equal to 3, right? So, but the open data has been released by the government initiative, like India government has also like an open data policy. You can see the open data India portal, you can download this information which has been released by the government, so that information can be compared with the real data which has been there. So if some data is not consistent on there, yeah, you can rely on, yeah, this data has been released under this license. You can check those things over. But in the Kerala, we doesn't have the open data Kerala policy. The policy is still on the draft from 2018 or 17 something. So based on that, yeah, this initiative we created in 2020, and still the draft is in draft only. So we still continue this work to make the Kerala government to publish those information under open license, and also we are happy to share this data. And yeah, this data, if you go to the open data GitHub page over here, you can see some of the information that we are released under the open data license, the map portal, LSD data for the research for your purpose. You can get those information. And right now the assembly election is going to happen. So one of the work we are right now doing is a MLA tracker. So still the work is on process. You can get the completely information of the MLAs in Kerala about the question they ask in the parliament, and this Niyama Sabha. So you can get the all members. We click the all members over here. You can see the members details from here. There was some search option here. I also will find where the option. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Trikagara. So you can get those information. So this information we are is getting from the Niyamasabha portal, as well as some of the open data information that we are fetching from the OpenStreetMap, which is connected with the Wikidata. So all those open data platforms we are interlinked on this project, and still the work is going on. So if you want to get those information, like how many questions they are asked in the Niyamasabha, all those information, you can click over there, and this information will navigate to the Niyamasabha portal, and you can see the information on there, which is again a PDF format. Okay. Yeah. So how many questions they asked in the Niyama Sabha? Like there will be a question and answer session, right? So how many, if you want to know how many the performance, like yeah, how many they are contributed to the. Yeah, there are a lot of platforms or like MyNeda is there, like for the Kerala there was not a platform before, so the.
This is the first time in India, any state, so there is such a site, I think.
I'm not that much sure about that one, but for Kerala, there was no site before.
The state initiative.
Allah, community initiative. So right now this is work in progress work. So we'll be soon releasing this under open license, open data license. Right now, it is not, but. Yeah, Niyamasabha site is better. For example, if you want to know about information, there will not map over there. If you want to get a map information, you want to get more information, there is access to the Wikipedia page, the profile page, and the Wikidata page. If you click the profile page over here, you can get the profile of the person in the Niyamasabha portal. And if you want to, member details from the Niyamasabha portal. There are a lot of information over there, and if you want to get read more information about the particular place, definitely open that. So Malayalam doesn't have that much of information. English, English have. So if you can go to different languages, switch to different languages, and you can get those information about that person. Doesn't have that much of information, so you can improve those information. So if you want to ask, if you are from a place, if you want the person to check the performance of that person in that particular location, just go and check with contact the local point people over there. Ask them the questions, what they want from their MLA. If you are seeing those questions that has been asked by the MLA on the Niyamasabha, definitely MLA will be performing good. If the questions that are asked by the people over there is not asked by the MLA during the Niyamasabha or during any of the discussion, I have not done any of the activity or the performance is low.
How many of you personally met your MLA? How many of you personally met your MLA? Not before the election, after the election. Like after being an MLA, how many of you personally met that MLA? Yeah, so that's where this portal came into place.
Oh, he's so good that he didn't need to.
Yeah, that's the
So you are most of the travelers, right?
question.
Okay. So have you used the OpenStreetMap for the navigation? No. No. Yeah, MLA tracker is finding the information of the MLA, not to track the MLA where he goes. No. We want to reach that person. We have the contact information of the, you can reach out to the MLA using the contact information. Yeah.
The question was that the map that you got from the government.
Speak a little louder.
The map that you got from the government, right? You said that was essentially incorrect, but based on what you saw from the tabular data, if I'm not wrong.
Actually, they have published a map, and they are not actually published a map. We can view the map on the front end, but they haven't published a map under open data license or any of the license which we can download easily.
Right.
The data has not been verified from their end properly and published that one. For example, if you are taking a Panchayat map over there, so if there are some errors or there, you can't fix those maps. You can't request on that portal. The map is wrong. It's like a
view only data that
they are just giving the data. Yeah. We have this data. You just see this data, right. But we are not. They are not claiming that we have published those information because in Kerala, the government doesn't have the open data policy, or they doesn't have the. They are trying to make the draft every year, but till the draft is in the draft.
So just to be clear, the data that we have, Open Kerala data has right now is the most updated one, but it is based on information from the persons in the field, or.
So the previously that data which we are shown in 2020, that was completely mapped by the volunteers.
Yeah.
So in 2025, the data which is shown right now is taken from the reference from the government as well, and also a previous reference. So we compare those information and we fix some of the issues, and we shown the map, and it can be accessed, but it's not like not a purely you can go minute level and you can use those information for the viewing purpose or for showing the details. It can be used.
You're essentially looking at it as a sort of this is the most updated version that we believe, but it's not the official version that the government is saying.
Yes, because the government also doesn't say the official. They doesn't have the official.
Right. They don't have an official version.
They doesn't have the
but
official.
Considering all variables, ours is the latest one. Is that?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
This is the best data you can use for
For some of the research, for developing the.
And all the data checks out. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
How was it trying to fix the ward boundaries? Did that work at all? Like,
so the ward boundaries are right now, which has been like after the delimitation on 2025, it is not updated, I guess, on the OpenStreetMap. So it is right now there in the OpenStreetMap. If you want to update some of the maps information, definitely OpenStreetMap can be edited by public anyone.
I got that. So my question was, how difficult do you think that is? Like, that's what I'm.
Difficult to edit, right?
Like, how difficult do you think that is? Like, fixing the ward boundaries, you know?
It's not that much so difficult. So the ward boundaries which are shown on the early map, which has been created by a Heinz, which is a user from Germany. If he can fix for a Germany, the people we are from the Kerala, right? We can fix that information from Kerala.
Yeah, one thing to mention, Heinz was a German guy. So this German guy, in his spare time, was mapping all the boundaries in Kerala. So I don't know why he was very fascinated with Kerala, but he has been very active in the Kerala community. But I don't think he's active anymore, no?
He had a cancer.
I think he had cancer or something.
After that, not recovered or something, I'm not sure.
We haven't get a message from him
not.
Since for a while.
So there was a PDF map. The government has some PDF map. It was not that much clear. The Heinz, which was user, he had been mapped all the things in the Germany. So he doesn't have any other things to map. So he mapped, the Kerala is free to map. No, he mapped all the information from Germany itself. He haven't came to Kerala. So this is one of the things that we have done, like the map. It's like a project we have done in 2022 something. All the Kochi, if you are like right now in the Kochi, right? So I just want to show about this Kochi map over here. So if you are traveling or if you want to build some mobile application or something, if you want to check whether how many best stops are there, the best routes over here, the private best routes in Kochi, you can check on this map portal. All the information completely added to the OpenStreetMap. So you can see how many best stops are there, the best stop name in English and Malayalam as well, and also the routes as well, the to and fro routes. So because timing, we have collected that information from the government. Yeah. MVD, but they also haven't published those information, so we also doesn't have the right to publish.
Yeah, if you need a real timing, you need to deal with mafia.
So there is when we done that activity, because lot of time when we are doing this activity, the bus people most of the time they will run the bus in the morning, in the evening also they will run the bus. And at noon time, you can see all the bus in the Marine Drive side. So the best timing depends, we went to inside the base, we took the tracker and we tracked those routes in the base. So the timing was not that much proper, and also the government doesn't want us get that information published because of there will be a lot of other influence also.
This is a private place, right?
Yes.
Private.
Yeah.
So MVD decides the time of a bus.
Yes. The routes has been decided by the government, and a timing also, they have the MVD also timing data. We taken the reference from the MVD. Initially, MVD also didn't give the reference data. we took the data because when we are in the bus stop, we are not seeing the bus. Then we understand the bus are running the morning and the evening only. So we started doing the mapping in the morning and evening times. Also noon time we are sitting idling only. We doing the mapping activity, and morning and evening time you doing the tracking activity. So if you want to search navigation, like you can click over here. You can see the bus route number over there. It will take some time. Yeah, you can see the entire map. How many bus stops are there? You can see that bus routes or a map also. Someone has create a map about whether the sun is on left side or right side. So all those information are there. If you want to build some cool applications about the best of name, including the best of shelter or not. Right now, Kochi has been changing a lot daily. The map sometimes will be outdated. Definitely, it is an OpenStreetMap. If you see some of the data is not updated, go on OpenStreetMap, click the edit button, change those information. And also, if you want to click some of the good pictures, you can click the pictures. You can contribute to Wikimedia Commons and link those information to OpenStreetMap, so you can see the maps as well. So, yeah, this is a wiki-based project. That's it. So some of the projects that are done by the volunteers, not me, that the volunteers have done these things. Yeah.
Mike.
Hey, great presentation, great work. Thank you so much for exposing the data. The question I have is, one, how do I contribute to the data? What's your data stream looking like? What kind of appliances do I need? Do I need a geocoded camera or any kind of geocoded device to really get into contribution? That's question number one. Question number two is, I have a project which is a side project where I want to take the budget allocation to Kerala and really map it to each district. I have not gone to the ward level yet, right? So would I be able to use this and understand which ward actually got what money from the government?
Okay, can you repeat the first question, please?
The first question is, how do I contribute? What's the data stream looking like? What format is the data if I want to be a volunteer?
Okay, got it. Under the Open Data portal, we are publishing those information under that format which can be accessed easily. Like example, we are publishing those information in CSV format, which can be downloaded easily and we can be used. JSON format also, we are using those information, publishing those information. So they can either use that from the URL or we are not publishing the information PDF formats, the formats which are not easy to access or easy to read. So the information that maps, files, all shapes are completely free on the portal. If you want to use that information from the portal, you can completely use those information. If you want to donate or contribute to the platform, definitely you can push those requests. You can contact the community and you can publish those information under the open data. Yes, Telegram link. I'm not sure about a public link. Yeah. You can search, I guess, Open Data Kerala on the Telegram. Open Data Kerala. So it's a public group. Okay. You can. Yeah, there is a private group for Open Data Kerala. Actually, it was like a very small group we started for just a coordinating thing. We will have the private group, right? So for that purpose, we started a group. Then the group has been expanded with a lot of people. Then we thought we will open a public group as well to people who reach out to the community members. So this is not like a organizational level. It's like a community initiative, open initiative. Anyone can come and anyone can contribute if they want interested in contributing and taking those information. We like the people to use the data. We like the people to contribute the data as well. We like the people who give the good suggestions like Subin. So that's about this portal. So
question 2.
Question 2. Can you repeat the question 2?
Sure. So if I want to map the budget to the ward level, would I be able to use the data?
you want to use data on this portal, right? Yes, you can use the data, but I'm not sure you are you getting the information for the ward level?
I
No.
need to see. So I can get it up till district. So would you know if it is available at?
They'll be getting from the till the panchayat level, I guess, but I'm not sure how easy to access those information. I checked that one in 2020, but later there was some not easy to access the platform. Then
And
I
do
stopped
you
the one.
have somebody in the IT department of the government who you can talk to?
We have the people we know, like who are working with the government and all, but
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
it will take some time, or it will take. Government, right? So I some couple of years back I requested RT. They are given the information. They have taken the printout. They scan those information. They send me the information. So if you are seeing the government portal or most of the portal, sometimes you see this kind of information. They can simply upload those information, but they mostly they don't do. They will scan those information and they will upload those information. So it is somewhat difficult to get those information. Initially it was very hard. Right now there are a lot of technologies, but still there will be some issues will be there. And also sometimes government doesn't also have the data. When I requested the RT for the, you know about MDR roads, right? Major district roads. I requested RTA. I got a feedback. We doesn't have this information. Then I asked like, yeah, the name board has this information. Yeah, you can contact the district level. They asked me. When I requested a district level, there was no response. After 1 month, 2 months, there was no response. I contacted them. They told like, yeah, we are not getting the response from the RTA portal. Then I stopped putting the RTA.
There's a similar problem with schools as well. The government doesn't know how many schools are there in Kerala.
Yes.
Yeah. I heard that, and they're trying to map now to figure
Actually,
out.
the schools are there in the Wikidata. We have done the project after the floods in Kerala. So the government also has a portal called Samedam. So if you go to the Samedam portal, which is linked to School Wiki. Have you heard about the School Wiki? Okay.
The most biggest good project in Kerala.
Yes.
And nobody knows about it. Yeah, please present.
So this is a project called School Wiki, similar to the Wikipedia. All the school information. I mean, like more than 90% of schools, the government schools, almost every school will be there. But the private schools, the government can't force a private school to publish those information. Because of that, some schools might not be there, like a CBSE, all those things will not be there. But you can see like all the school information are there. And also you can see all the information. If you are like Kerala also happened last month, like in Thrissur. So all the artworks, like the drawings, paintings and all has been published under free Creative Commons license and under this platform. So after 5 years, after 10 years, if the person or the student or the family members or the juniors who is coming to that school want to see those information, it's be there like under these pages.
This is also helping LLMs a lot. Thank you for
Yes.
this. Thank you for the data so that they can scrap all of this out. There's a lot of content here. This is properly tagged and all from like 2015.
So
and
these
all.
are properly categorized. They can easily get those information because most of the time LLMs find difficult to scrap those information from different media platforms. But when it's come to the structured data, things like Wikidata or Wikipedia, the information in Wikipedia is somewhat structured. On Wikidata is completely structured. It's easy to get those information completely for free. The Wikipedia is not charging for them. Yeah, we can get completely for free, so we can use those information completely for free. But when it comes to the private, like companies like Google, yeah, they will not give those data for free to them. So the LLMs will mostly depends upon the free platforms like Wikipedia and a lot of other free open knowledge, open data platforms to get those information. So if the project like Wiki or School Wiki is not there, if the humans are not there, there is no point of view the AI, as well as if the humans are not using the AI also, there is no point of like building the AI.
You could say that the AI is built on the labor of the kids in Kerala in a way,
Yes.
no? Child labor of
Yeah, if
all
you want
these
to
kids
create some
growing and all.
drawings like using the AI will go to school wiki. Yeah, I modify this one. Yeah, this is a new drawing I have created. So this is artwork, so you can see the person.
This is also a good information of kids are writing Malayalam now. This is very fascinating. Kids are mixing old Malayalam and new Malayalam in the new poems and recitation. I find this a very interesting data point of how kids are learning Malayalam scripts now. It's pretty nice. സ്ക്രിപ്റ്റിൽ പഴയതും പുതിയ ലിപിയും കൂടെ മിക്സ് ആവുന്നുണ്ട് ഇപ്പോൾ. ആ ലിപികൾ രണ്ടും എത്തി കാരണം അതല്ല ലൈക്ക് ചില ഏതെങ്കിലും എടുത്തു നോക്കിയാൽ മതി. കവിതാ പാരായണം എല്ലാം നോക്കിക്കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ കാണാൻ പറ്റും അങ്ങനെ പിള്ളേർ എഴുതുന്നത്.
ഏത് പാരായണം?
കവിത ഏതിലുണ്ടല്ലോ ഇതിനകത്ത്
വരാം. രചന കവിത
ടേക്ക് വൺ. ഇതെന്താ കവിതയാ? വായിക്കാൻ പറ്റുന്നില്ലല്ലോ. It is surprising to see. It is surprising to see kids using the old format of Malayalam like this. No, wait. That is a good example. You see how she wrote the word Pogarudanna. Literally, you don't write Ru in that way. Ru has two formats in standard Malayalam. The Ru old combo and the new combo is a side tilt. But now kids are combining both together. This is a new script. So we are directly seeing a new evolution of Malayalam through this now.
So we need more fonts.
Yeah, this has a form from the government now.
Okay.
So it also can be used for the training at least like for LLM or if you are building something, yeah, you can use like information completely for free. You can see the license over here, like it's on a Creative Commons license, which is commonly used open knowledge license, open on the Wikimedia projects as well. So yeah. So these are some of the use cases of the open data and then open knowledge on different platforms. And also we are also supporting for activities. And we have the Wikipedia birthday cake over here. There's a cake. Okay. So video.
Like in this case, I would say, പണ്ട് മലയാള ലിപിയുടെ ഫോർമേഷൻ അറിയണമെങ്കിൽ നമ്മൾ പഴയ താളിയോലൊക്കെ എഴുതി വയ്ക്കും. പഴയ ഗ്രന്ഥി ലിപി, how the ഗ്രന്ഥി ലിപി was formed and all. This is like a modern version of the പഴയ താളിയോലകൾ, archived and all. 100 years from now, people will be looking at this thing and looking at how the evolution happened. We will be having a newer Malayalam script in 100 years after. This is like a very rich source of, like the Library of Alexandria in a way.
ഇത് കേരളത്തിൽ തന്നെയാണ്. കേരളം എന്തെങ്കിലും പ്രശ്നം രഞ്ജിത്തേട്ടനെ കോൺടാക്ട് ചെയ്താൽ മതി. ചൂടാവുണ്ട്. രാത്രി 11:30 മുതൽ 12 മണി വരെ ഷട്ട് ഡൗൺ ആണ്. വൈകിട്ട് ഇൻഫർമേഷൻ അപ്ഡേഷൻ വരെ ഉണ്ട്. അല്ല, ഈ ഡാറ്റ ഒക്കെ സ്റ്റാറ്റിക് ആണ്. ഇമേജസ് ഒക്കെ ലൈവ് ആയിട്ടുള്ളത് അവരുടെ പോർട്ടലിൽ നിന്ന് വരുന്നതാണ്. നമുക്ക് ഇമേജസ് ഇവിടെ സേവ് ചെയ്യുന്ന പുറത്തുനിന്ന് ലൈവായിട്ട് URL കൊടുക്കുന്നത്.
This is purely a infra question. This is purely an infra question because since this is hosted with us, have we seen LLM scraping this data? Like we can see that, right, in real time, the spike in scrapping. Like, have we seen that? Since you said that we are essentially hosting, we have.
Let's go.
Yeah. I'm just asking because.
There is not much spike
That we have seen, right?
Usually from AI,
Yeah.
we are expecting a very
Yep.
but that is not happening here.
Oh, okay,
Probably
okay.
because it's very localized. They're looking for English language things.
Ah, right, yeah.
So just showing the how many views on this page has been there.
Right.
Like you can see the number of views. How many?
They don't know about the resources.
Yeah.
English language. They are not.
So this can be accessed using the API, right? API also you can access those information.
So there is directly API.
Maybe Google. Yeah, then there's a lot of bunch of Indian companies. So maybe Korean knows about these things.
If you go to schoolwiki.api /api.php, you can get all the API information out here. You can download those information. You can modify those information. You can do all those things. If you have the editing access as well, you can edit those things. Similar to the Wikipedia, like using the media wiki this on the school wiki. So all the things that you are doing on the Wikipedia, like using the APIs, you can do that on the school wiki as well. Yeah, cake. Okay.
ആധുനിക സർവ്വവിജ്ഞാന കോശത്തിൻ്റെ 25ാം സെലിബ്രേഷൻ നമുക്ക് കേക്ക് മുറിച്ച് ആഘോഷിക്കാം. ലെറ്റ്സ് റാപ്പ് ദിസ് അപ്പ്. So thank you for all the speakers who submitted the proposals and coming to do the talk as well, because these things can happen without proper CFPs, because it's very rare to get good submissions in Kochi itself. So these meetups can only happen when we have good talks and good people to join as well. So thank you everybody for joining at another 22nd, I think, Kochi FOSS Meetup. And I don't think maybe we'll be doing the meetup next month, potentially, depends. But good question, but I don't know, if you have good proposals, then yeah. Depends on the CFPs that we get. Okay, and we are seeing a decrement now.
Let's have a rolling CFP.
What does that mean?
Everyone who wants to talk, just let them put up talk proposals, right? And then we can submit all the time.
Don't close the CFPs.
Don't close the CFPs. That's a good idea. Make a queue of CFPs. Do a talk. Do a meetup. That makes sense. ILD is a GitHub thing, no? Oh yeah, sorry. Paper readings. Are anybody interested in paper readings? Depends on the paper, I guess. We are everything at this point. Do you want Ruby talk? I can do a Ruby talk next. I will Ruby talk next.
We have I guess like the polyglot folks, we have a lot of folks who know multiple languages.
Depends on the interest, I guess. We can do anything, I guess. What papers are you interested in to do? Okay. Right. Right, yeah.
So everyone has to learn more, and we can have new papers. We don't need to write those papers, and we need those papers that get published outside.
And just give a explain like I am 5 thing. That will be better. Yeah. Okay, and I guess that's one session we can give a rolling CFPs. I guess that's one point. Pinna FOSS Meet is happening. FOSS Meet is happening in April in NIT Calicut, which is an annual free software gathering. One another thing I want to mention is there's a hack for play going on in Fort Kochi, which is like a bunch of hackers from Germany, US, and everyone is just, I don't know, gathering around and hacking together, I guess. So a couple of us will be there in the evening. I think there's a school workshop thing happening today for children. So learning soldering and stuff. So I think that will be one more addition. Other than that, I don't have anything to mention. No, you just can go for the cake. Oh yeah, we have to take a group photo. And
But I think we can take a group photo over here or stand on the staircase.
or maybe on the rooftop.
No, it's kind of crowded. We can do it in front here.
Right here. But the camera would be, it's a very small. Okay, let's try that out. Otherwise, we can both upset. Otherwise, the cake wouldn't happen. Or maybe cake after. No, photo after cake. No, cake after photo. Okay, thank you very much for attending. Thank you everyone. Thank you to Entri again to give us this valuable space. Where are the people?